Would it be right to say that public service and community service runs in your DNA?
Absolutely. So my grandpa served in World War II. He worked on the bombing sites and the bombers. And security is my background. I spent almost a decade in the military. And so security, protecting people, keeping the people I care about in this.
You were deployed to protect the southern border. What kind of crime did you see and how did you guys tackle it?
The southern border, we see a lot of different crimes there, but predominantly the cartels that we were dealing with, that we saw frequently, were conducting human trafficking. So they were smuggling humans across the southern border, and it's
Michael, welcome to Gold Media. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to see you today.
Same here. We are looking forward to talk to you, know you more, and especially for our people in 10th District. Congratulations on the announcement for your congressional race. We are really looking forward to know what you stand for, what your focus areas would be, and everything.
Yeah, this is an incredible area. It's my home. So I'm so excited to get out, talk to people, let them understand my values, where I'm coming from, and why I'm doing this.
Absolutely. Would it be right to say that public service and community service runs in your DNA?
Absolutely. So my grandpa served in World War II. He worked on the bombing sites and the bombers. And I think that's part of the reason my dad went into law enforcement. He saw my grandpa's service.
Right.
And my dad went into law enforcement from a really young age. He's been a police officer for 38 years.
Right.
And that service is incredible. And that's made such an impact on me and my brother and my sister that I know translates to what we do and why I do this.
Absolutely. Your dad, Senior Michael Bouchard, is such a respected person in Michigan. What kind of inspiration do you draw from him?
So growing up and seeing him go to work every day and putting this community first, it taught us a lot of values of service, of love of country, of why we're doing this. So during 9/11, I was very young. And I remember going to the sheriff's office, and the whole team from the sheriff's office, they were going to send a large convoy out to Ground Zero. And me, when I was very little, I was loading cars with bottles of water. And I have a picture of it, and I see it every once in a while.
Yeah.
And seeing that just from service from a young age, I think has inspired a lot of what I do in life.
I think that seed was planted at a very young age itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect. And what kind of priorities you think you would focus on once you are in Congress?
So security is my background. I spent almost a decade in the military. And so security, protecting people, keeping the people I care about in this area safe, that is my core. Outside of security, the economy. I mean, Michigan, and specifically the 10th District, is known as the arsenal of democracy. We build the best things in the world here.
Yeah.
And so a strong economy is good for this district, and it's good for the country. Because if we make the best things in this district, it makes our country stronger also. And one of the other things that I would focus on is housing affordability. A lot of people my age are struggling to buy a home right now.
A lot, yeah. With this economy, it's hard.
Yeah, and so we're seeing interest rates at an all-time high. Well, not an all-time high, but they're very high right now. And so we need to reduce interest rates. We need to put a program in place to build more homes. And we need to put our trade workers in a better position by manufacturing more things. So if we build more houses, we're going to make more cabinets. So the cabinetry makers like LaFata, they're going to do better. If we build more houses, interest rates are lower, then it's just a circle that makes sense. The housing prices are going to be cheaper.
Right, absolutely. What inspired you to be in the military?
So I was coming out of college, and I was looking at either going to law enforcement or the military. And this was right around when President Trump got elected in 2016. And he said that he wanted to make the military larger. He wanted to do peace through strength, and that he needed good leaders to join to keep our country safe.
Right.
So I chose to go active duty, and I was commissioned as an infantry officer right out of school.
Wow, that's very impressive. Talk to us about President Trump. I know you've served during his first tenure, and you chose to you were deployed to protect the southern border. What kind of crime did you see, and how did you guys tackle it?
So the southern border, we see a lot of different crimes there, but predominantly the cartels that we were dealing with, that we saw frequently, were conducting human trafficking. So they were smuggling humans across the southern border. And it's a problem that I didn't realize was so large at the time and until we saw it firsthand. But in the area we were in, the cartels were making more money smuggling humans than they were smuggling in drugs. So the problem is much larger than I think a lot of people realized.
Right.
But it goes back to, if there's a problem that our country is facing and we don't implement a common sense solution, I don't understand what the barrier is to that. A problem like this should have bipartisan support. And I think one side is trying to play politics and the other side is trying to manufacture, or is trying to come up with a solution.
Right. Mike, do you think your background from military would help you serve better in Congress?
Absolutely. So one, I have led from the ground level. I've been a platoon leader all the way up to a company. And so that's about 145 soldiers.
Right.
So I have on the ground leadership experience, and then I also have strategic level experience from my time in intelligence. So I've negotiated with other countries' diplomats. I've met with other countries' generals. I've negotiated on behalf of the United States of America. So I've led from the ground level, but I've also done negotiations at the strategic level. So I understand the entire chain of our military and how and why we need to get things done.
Absolutely. Talk to us about your experience when you were deployed in Iraq.
So I got back from Iraq about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Very happy to be home.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to
Thank
see
you for
everybody.
your service, though.
I thank you so much. I appreciate that. But Iraq isn't. A lot of people don't know we still have troops there. They don't know that we still have ongoing missions against ISIS. But I think we saw just a couple of weeks ago in the news that there was an ISIS ring stopped in Michigan. So ISIS is still a very real threat. They're not nearly the threat they used to be. But if we take our eye off the ball, I'm worried that some bad things will happen. So we have troops in Iraq and in Syria that are still hunting ISIS. And they're out there every day defending this country and doing the job they signed up for. So part of my job while I was there was to embed with Iraqi units, find what they need, give them the training and connect them with U.S. assets to enable them to hunt ISIS down.
Right. And what kind of credit would you like to give to President Trump for being able to facilitate everything that's needed to tackle such situations?
So I think that there's a very clear difference between this administration and other presidential administrations,
Right.
because he's allowing our military to do our job. He's putting us in a place to be successful. And I'll share a quick story from the 12-day war when Iran was sending rockets and drones at Israel. We were worried that Iranian proxy forces, these are Iraqi units that are Iranian aligned, we were worried they were going to attack us. And so we put a lot of contingencies in place to get ready for an attack. And when I say us, I mean U.S. service members in Iraq. They did not attack us. And when the 12-day war was over, we looked back into why.
Thank God.
Thank God, but
Yeah.
we were also wanting to know why. Why did they not?
Yeah.
Because they had the ability
Yeah.
and they didn't attack us.
Right.
So what we looked into, we talked to some of our sources on the ground, and we found out that they didn't attack us because they were scared of an overwhelming U.S. response.
Oh.
They were scared that if they attacked us, they would be decimated.
Right.
So that is peace through strength completely.
Yeah.
We were not attacked. My friends were not attacked because they were scared of an overwhelming U.S. response.
Wow.
And that all starts with President Trump. So when we talk about what presidential leadership can do in the military atmosphere, it goes back to that right out of the gate. Peace through strength, allowing our military to be lethal. The whole job of the military is lethality. Not to compare apples to oranges, but here's a story from the Biden administration. I was in the 101st, and we were getting ready to go to Africa.
Yeah.
And so we were coming up with our training plan, and we had to cancel a week of training because they wanted to do briefings. One of the briefings that we were forced to do is they brought in a transgender Navy SEAL to teach us about empathy. I don't care about politics in the military. I don't care who does what, but our job in the military was to be lethal. That's the
Right.
only thing we should be focusing on.
Right.
And it was canceled because they wanted to have a transgender Navy SEAL teach us about empathy. That's not okay with me, because I know that that was taking valuable training away from the men and women that I was serving with.
Thank you, President Trump, for your leadership. How do you plan to connect with people from District 10?
It's my home. I live there. I see them every day. This district, the people in my area are the salt of the earth. It is a very purple district for a reason.
Yeah.
They don't want to play politics.
Yeah.
They want to be able to raise a family.
Yeah.
They want to have a good job, and they want to have a safe environment.
Absolutely.
Those don't sound like political issues, but right now, what I want to do is I want to put them in the best position possible where they have the life and they can earn the life that they want. They have the life that they need. They can send their kids to school without worrying about what's going to be taught at school or their kids' safety. They can get the job that they want because the economy is succeeding for them. That's what I want to enable this district to do. The government shouldn't be giving that to them. That is their right that they have.
Right. Thank you so much, Mike, for joining us and sharing all about your plans. Wish you good luck with this campaign.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to see where this goes, and I'm so excited to fight for everybody in this district.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian.
Appreciate it.
If people want to learn more about me, they can go to bouchardforcongress.com.
Absolutely.
This is Michael Bouchard. If you would like to know more about me, please go to bouchardforcongress.com and keep watching Gold Media.